You know what time it is.
It's Couch Time with Sonja. Let's go. Sonja with a J, and welcome to Couch Time with Sonja. And I'm joined on the couch with my beautiful co-host, Delia Cortez.
Hola y bienvenidos.
We're so excited. This is going to be a great episode. The title of this episode is Design with a Purpose. And of course, our special guest, I believe she's definitely purpose-driven.
Yes, and she is so special to us because she had everything to do with this beautiful new set.
I absolutely love our couch.
You know, this is the kind of couch that you get comfy in. You get a blanket, put your feet up, and just relax for a bit.
That's actually what we want you to do in this episode. Sit back, relax, kind of take in all the information. Because not only we're talking about designing with a purpose, you're going to get some tips, some tricks that are going to be useful for you.
I think we're all going to learn something today, especially those of us who don't design.
You're exactly right. And of course, you're going to even learn how to design on a dime.
Yes.
That cliche. But I love her special touch. It's J.B.I. architect, and her name is Jessica Brown. And you know what? You take a moment, grab your coffee
or your tea,
and we'll be right back.
CEO Jalea Davis is making history by becoming the youngest African-American female to own a television station in the nation. Along with her colleague, President Crystal Holmes, these women are becoming a part of the 1.3% African-American television station ownership. Get ready for iconic television, an all-new channel coming to your TV on KVVV Channel 15.10, covering Houston's local inspiration, entertainment, health, wellness, fitness, family, visual artists, comedians, and more. Streaming 24/7 on iconictelevision.com. Be sure to stay tuned for the latest and greatest on Iconic Television, where everyone can be iconic.
Let's be honest. Making a lukewarm marketing video is fairly simple. But who wants lukewarm marketing? Instead, how about something that conveys your unique message? Well, that takes creativity, and creative is what we are. We design custom logos. We even offer professional print services. Our goal is to showcase how good your idea is, no matter what your product is. Whether it's social media marketing for a new author or the artwork for the book itself, we can help. You've created a new app and need a TV commercial to show it to the world. We can help.
Now they're Stork Advisor.
If you're a photographer trying to show off your work in a unique way, we can help. Need a promo for your TV show? We can help with that too.
It's Couch Time with Sonja.
We're an artistic bunch and we love the creative process. We're not trying to be the best in Houston. We're trying to be the best for you.
We have the pleasure of introducing our very special guest,
Miss Jessica Brown from Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
Drive all over town just to get to us on set.
Because we know driving across Houston could be a 3-hour ordeal.
Yes, you're exactly right.
You know, it could be 7 miles away and it takes you 70 minutes.
Yes.
Well, today is so awesome. Our whole theme is all about design with a purpose. Yes. But you know what? We know a little bit about you, but our audience doesn't. So please tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, so I am originally from Wisconsin, and the second I say Wisconsin, everybody says, "Oh,
I was going to say the accent gives a dead giveaway.
My husband moved us down here 7 years ago, and I've been with him 20 years.
Beautiful, congratulations!
Yes,
Thank you.
That's
is an
something to
accomplishment in
celebrate.
itself.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That's my first purpose here on earth, is to be a wife to my husband. My second is a mother. I have 3 beautiful boys. My oldest is a sophomore. My next is an 8th grader, and then our youngest boy is in 2nd grade. So they are our pride and joy, and everything that we strive to do better in our own lives is to set the example for them to continue that legacy.
You know, teenagers, they can be a challenge though, right?
They can. But I have to say, honestly, our teenager he's amazing. He has his moments, but he shines. He really does.
And they truly are a lot of fun.
They are fun.
Well, you know, I always love with purpose. You see a purpose in each one of your children. They're all different.
Yes.
Tell us what you see in each one of your kids.
Oh, boy. My oldest certainly has self-drive. He does not need to please other people. What he does, he truly does for the glory of God, and it's between him and God. So he does not need to prove himself to others. He doesn't, but yet, and everything he does, he's amazing. He's an excellent student. He's an excellent athlete, but he's not the one after the game to be out there showboating. Yeah, look at me. And he's not the one to be bragging up to people about his grades. He just does his own thing, keeps to himself.
So that was your oldest. So let's talk about your middle baby and your youngest.
Okay, well, my middle, he is a heartthrob. Now, they're so opposite because he does like to be the center of attention, and he's the clown, and he likes to be funny, and he likes to be the star of the game, and he's also a phenomenal student, phenomenal athlete, but he does like and need that praise. That's part of his character. But at the same time, he's my most spiritual one. He really has a place of contemplation, and he really thinks things through. My oldest thinks things through, but he doesn't project it. My youngest will think it through, and then he'll let you know he thought that through.
And how old is he? I missed that.
He's in 8th grade.
He's in 8th grade. Okay.
Precious.
Yes.
And your youngest?
And our youngest, he is the combination and the culmination of everybody, right? The youngest just brings out the highlights of every personality. He's adjusting into understanding that being the baby doesn't mean that you have to be the baby.
Right.
But he really, he has a spirit to him that no matter where we go in public, people always pull us aside and, oh my gosh, his is so beautiful, his spirit is so beautiful. And he has a presence where he's kind of an all-inclusive type of child. So with friends and things like that, he's always making sure to reach out. And something that my husband and I really wanted to instill in our children, that they were the leaders. We always tell them, be a leader.
That's beautiful.
I was going to say, they all sound so special. I can't wait to meet them. I've only met the little one.
Yes, they are amazing.
But also, I heard you say, you and your husband have instilled in them to be leaders. So I want to hear what's special and that purpose that you see in your husband.
My husband, that's a whole nother show. But my husband, honestly, my husband is brave. And not always willingly. Sometimes he's been forced into his bravery, and he embraces that. And as a wife, I have learned my purpose in learning to be his support and be that rib to him when he needs it. And at the times where maybe the bravery isn't quite there, as women, we sometimes want our husbands to step in and be like, come on. And as the wife, it's knowing the right way to position our husbands so that they can step into that courageous role and that bravery and be the kings that God intended them to be.
Right.
So he is the king of my world. He is.
It's so beautiful. And we thank you for honoring your husband the way that you do. It stands for what we believe here at Couch Time with Sonja.
Well, I tell you, we have 20 years under the belt together, and 14 of those we've been married, blessed with our union in God, and we have seen every roller coaster a marriage can possibly see. And it's so easy for people to quit when they hit that valley, because that's our society now. It's a drive-through society of like, give me what I need and meet my immediate needs, and if you don't, I'm done. But you can't witness the fullness of God's glory.
That's so true.
If you don't try to persevere through that valley.
That's right.
Because once you get through that valley, then you can bear the testimony and the witness to others of what it feels like for God to pull you through. And I think that's the part where sometimes we're lacking. We don't get to hear those testimonies anymore because so many people quit at the low point.
That's a great point,
yeah.
Jessica. And you know what? We're talking about designing with a purpose. And I thank you for sharing that, because truly your life has been designed with a purpose.
Yes.
So you know what? We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
If you would like to be a guest or advertise your business on Couch Time with Sonja, I would love to hear from you. Email me. Visit couchtimewithsonya.com.
One of the most important events in life is having a baby. The closest hospital may not be the best choice for your family. Now, there's Stork Advisor. With Stork Advisor, you can keep your loved ones informed. There's a labor alert right at your fingertips. Stork Advisor even offers you a different pregnancy tip every day. After you've had your baby, tell us about your experience and leave a Stork rating. We want to keep other expecting families like you informed. With Stork Advisor, you can know what to expect when you're expecting.
Connect with fellow millennials, creatives, professionals, and entrepreneurs within the all-new millennial community. Join in and get connected with local events, volunteer opportunities, and mentorship programs with the next generation. For more information, visit themillennialcommunity.com and become a member today. Membership includes access to special events, networking events, and civic engagement opportunities. Check out our online calendar for upcoming event opportunities, such as Millennial Think Tanks, community building events, the new Sea Live experience, and much more. Members will also be invited to join an online membership group, have opportunities to pair with local students in the Houston community for mentorship programs. Follow us on all social media platforms and get connected with the millennial community today.
We're back, and we're continuing with our friend Jessica Brown.
Thank you.
Jessica, thank you for sharing just a little bit about your family.
Of course.
But we also know you have a passion. So what is truly your passion?
My passion is interior design. So I always let people know, don't confuse your passion and your purpose.
That's good.
Which I did. So I used to think my passion was my purpose. And when I first started in design, I thought I put everything into that. I thought my career was my purpose. And God let me know real quick, you got your priorities in the wrong order.
Yes.
So my passion is interior design, and I use that to help serve my purpose.
That's so good. Can you repeat that for our audience?
Of course. I use my passion to help serve my purpose.
That's
you could be a basketball player, that's your passion. How do you use that then to serve your purpose? Which then you'll see charities, nonprofits, things like that. They use that celebrity status to serve their purpose.
That's so good. Thank you for sharing that. So there's a difference. I heard you say there's a difference between interior decorator and interior designer. Can you tell us the difference?
Yes. So definitely the very one set is the education, right? An interior decorator is usually a 2-year degree from a tech-type college, a trade college, and it focuses more on the aesthetics. So it's the wallpaper, it's fabrics and upholsteries, but it doesn't get into the architectural side of it. So an interior designer, for example, I have a 5-year degree, and I actually incorporate blueprints and drawings. My limitation is truss systems and foundations. My actual degree was interior architecture. And so it's a culmination, a combination of architecture and decoration together. So we cover all the beautiful aesthetics. Also, I've done homes where we've gone all the way to the silverware that goes in the drawers, but then that same home, we gutted that entire shell and rearranged HVAC and plumbing and walls and the whole gamut. It was a full remodel. So designers get much more in depth to it, and there's more education and training behind it. Typically, you can also wake up and decide one day, I just want to be a decorator because I have a natural flair, and there's a lot of those out there.
Right.
And kudos if you have natural talent. We all do need to have a natural talent when we tune into the art or the craft that we have. But then you need to take it the next step as duty also to your clients to become educated, to make sure that you're giving professional advice for that.
Well, I know what you did for our set was amazing.
Thank you.
We will thank you again. I know we've thanked you several times,
Yes.
but we love the set. We love the new look and everything that you did going into it.
It was not an easy delivery. Ooh, we were in labor with this baby for a long time.
That's a good way to say it, in labor.
Well, I remember that bit of stress that you carried, and you were so worried, and because you cared what we thought. You
Yes,
did it for
of
us,
course.
so thank you.
I did.
The joy of being your client, not only are you Couch Time with Sonja's official interior designer, but it's the set. You took on our passion and our heart and our true vision of what we wanted, but it isn't always easy. Is that right?
It isn't. It isn't always easy, and truly, a good designer can tune into their client and reflect what they need and what it needs to portray for their vision. But then in addition, a good designer can hold back what is necessary to not bring details to you that really you don't need to be dealing with.
Right.
And so that's where project management really comes into the next realm of being an interior designer, is being able to know what is pertinent information to share with my client, and what do I need to just handle in the backside until this is done. And I can let my client know afterwards, this is what we went through.
Right.
Which you did for us.
Yes.
Well, you became a project manager to the whole project from day one all the way to delivery day. And we thank you, but I hope that that's education definitely to you, the viewer, because if you ever are in need of an interior designer, it's totally different. You do not have anything to really worry about if they're the right one.
Yes.
Right. We're more than just colors and pretty pictures. We really strive to give you a full experience of bringing your vision to life and allowing it to be an enjoyable process and not a painful process.
Again, I can't say thank you enough because we love it. We love everything that you did.
I'm happy to be able to give you this place and an opportunity to let the rest of the world see what you're all trying to bring to them.
And then not only that, they need to see what you do. If you're ever in need of an interior designer, please look her up, J.B.I.
Yes. So Jessica, tell them how to reach you. How do they get a hold of you?
Okay, so my company is J.B.I.A. LLC. It's Jessica Brown Interior Architect. It's just an acronym for my name and my trade. And I do have a website. It's jbiaonline.com. You can go to my website to contact me. There's a Contact Us page. You can also reach out to me through any of my social media. I'm actually more active on my social media than I am on my website. Unfortunately, that's where the place is.
That's the trend, right?
That's where it is. So you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm actually on Snapchat. My children taught me how to do that.
Well, in this day and time?
Yes.
I said, Mom, you're too old for Snapchat. So you can reach out to me through any of those. I really use, again, my passion and my purpose are portrayed in my social media, so you'll get a good mix of my personality with my craft. And those are the best ways to reach me. You can always call me directly. My phone number is 832-305-7305, and if I don't answer, it's just because I want to hear you leave a beautiful message telling me why I need to call you back.
That's great. Great point. Well, you know what? Because we were talking about the things that happen behind the scenes that people never see, we had a catastrophe that happened with this set.
Oh my goodness.
But the beautiful thing is that we never knew about it. You did not let us know until after delivery about what happened. But I think you should share with our viewers really what happened.
Okay. Pull up your coffee for this one. All right, so this sofa is a custom-made sofa, and initially you brought me your vision saying, I want a circular sofa.
Right.
And I had scoured the city from top to bottom through every thrift store, retail shop. You have to remember, this program was done it's a startup, so we're going on the best budget we can work with. Not finding any circular sofas. So at that point, I had the program had found somebody who was going to do the upholstering, and I had found a carpenter who had volunteered to build the framework. And we're now down to about 3 weeks before the show, and both of those ends had fallen through. The carpenter who said he'd build a framework was like, well, you don't have everything ready yet. We have to move on to our next job. So he said, here's some lumber. I hope you find somebody. Wow. And at this point, 3 weeks before a show, you don't tell a show host you don't have a sofa.
Right, especially people need to know this sofa meant a lot to Sonja. Yes. This circular sofa was all she could dream about.
The whole vision was built around the circular sofa. So at that point, at 3 weeks, I reached out to another upholsterer in hopes that we could build something, and he said he'd think about it. But it was actually a day that my husband and I were together, and my husband does properties, and we're going to Habitat Restore, which is a store that sells for the donation. The money goes to building homes. Yes. But you can buy building materials there. And before we walked in, I grabbed my husband's hand and I said, hang on, we just need to pray right now. And I said, Father, you know what we are looking for when we walk through these doors. My husband needs this range hood for his property, and I need a circular sofa. Please let your will be done. So we walk into the store, and I turn one direction, my husband turns the other, and we're both going, babe, here, I see the hood that he needs, and he sees the circular sofa. Wow. So at this point, my spirits are lifting, because I'm thinking, okay, well, the frame is in place. It needs to be reconstructed, and I drew up some drawings to alter it a little bit, but now all we have to do is upholster it. So I have the gentleman, he says, yes, I can alter it, I'll upholster it. We have 3 weeks. I said, send me some updated photos, so I have progress pics as we go, and I'm not getting that response. So we're now 3 days before the show, and I get a call.
Gosh. Wait a minute. She gets a call. We're going to find out what happens after that call when we return. We'll be right back.
And then there was life. Born to color outside the lines. Born for such a time as this. You showed up on the planet to produce a dream. You, yes you, were born with purpose, with words. Friends, imagine that your dreams can become your reality by the words you speak. It all starts today. It starts with you. Creation, formation, transformation, all begin with change. The battle is in your mind, but your voice is your weapon. Speak life, believe, prosperity, creative, daring. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Your future is unwritten. Let's begin writing today. Your words create your world.
One of the most important events in life is having a baby. The closest hospital may not be the best choice for your family. Now, there's Stork Advisor. With Stork Advisor, you can keep your loved ones informed. There's a labor alert right at your fingertips. Stork Advisor even offers you a different pregnancy tip every day. After you've had your baby, tell us about your experience and leave a Stork rating. We want to keep other expecting families like you informed. With Stork Advisor, you can know what to expect when you're expecting.
We're back, and we get to hear the ending of the story with this couch. So continue, Jessica.
Okay, 3 days before the show, I get a call, and I hear, tenemos un problema.
Oh, that means it was in Spanish? Oh, my God.
So, te dijo, tenemos un problema. Sí. So, if you don't know what that means we've got a problem.
Yes, and it was a big problem. He said, I lied to you, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, wow.
and you can have all your stuff back.
Oh my goodness, did you say 3 days?
3 days before the show.
Before our live show.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I can imagine all the emotions that you were feeling at that very moment.
How did you stay sane through all this?
God.
Oh my goodness.
Honestly, we had literally just had a show meeting,
Right.
and I had just told you ladies what the devil will look for any hole to get through
Yes.
to try to distract and destroy what you were trying to accomplish. So when that happened, I just thought, you're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I didn't tell you all. I picked up the phone and started calling my upholsterers, and thankfully, Antonio said yes.
Thankfully. Thanks, Antonio.
Thank you, Antonio.
Yes, he said, sí, te puedo ayudarte, sí.
See, I love all your Spanish.
God.
So it was just an amazing journey, and lo and behold, in 3 days, he has an amazing wife that she works right by his side, which is a beautiful thing, again, to see
Yes.
a team that works together, and here we are sitting on this perfect piece.
Yes.
Well, we definitely want to let you know, Antonio, and to your beautiful
Yes.
wife, how much we thank you. Thank you. You've done amazing, amazing. Communication, that's another power, is you took on project manager of this entire job. But guess what? You, because you have a second language of Spanish, you were able to communicate. And I would have never known that. So as your client, I thank you. Thank you for that.
Sí, hablo español, no es muy bueno, pero un poquito, y es mejor por mi trabajo.
Pues ella sabe comunicar en español. ¿La escuchas? I told them, doesn't she do well communicating in Spanish? She does well, very well.
Me? No.
So, I love that you told us of these catastrophes after the fact.
Yes.
But I would love the audience to see it. Do you have anything to share with them?
Actually, I have a clip. So it was actually the day before live that he was supposed to have this done. I stopped in the shop because this is slowing down in communication again, so I just drove over and said, what's going on? He said, again, another problem. We ran out of fabric. And I thought, oh my gosh, we can't run out of fabric. And there's no more of this fabric left. So at that point, I picked up my phone and updated, like, this is what's going on. And I pulled out the guns and started ripping off fabric from the other piece the man attempted, and helping them right then and there, jumping in the scene. So, yes.
So we get to see that?
Yes, the clip is coming right here.
So, y'all, I came to pick up the sofa for the talk show. And problem, they needed more yardage, and the fabric that I had purchased, when they cut it for me, they had left it out in the front of the store. Now, I searched all over the city to find this color, and sure enough, someone else walks in and says, oh my God, I love that color, and they buy the rest of the yardage. So I am here with the upholsterer, and I personally now am going to cut off all of the fabric here and get it ready for him to reuse on the other sofa. We are down to the wire. We have like, what time is it? We have maybe 5 hours left till showtime. Whew, okay, so we're going at it hard, and this is the day in the life of somebody who is determined to get this done. Not funny. God has a sense of humor, but when you step up to the challenge, He will see how strong you are, and He'll give you more.
Let's be honest. Making a lukewarm marketing video is fairly simple. But who wants lukewarm marketing? Instead, how about something that conveys your unique message? Well, that takes creativity, and creative is what we are. We design custom logos. We even offer professional print services. Our goal is to showcase how good your idea is, no matter what your product is. Whether it's social media marketing for a new author or the artwork for the book itself, we can help. You've created a new app and need a TV commercial to show it to the world. We can help.
Now there's Stork Advisor.
If you're a photographer trying to show off your work in a unique way, we can help. Need a promo for your TV show? We can help with that too.
It's couch time with Sonja.
We're an artistic bunch, and we love the creative process. We're not trying to be the best in Houston. We're trying to be the best for you.
Jessica, you know what or who actually guides the trends, I guess you would say, for interior designers?
So the interior design trend is actually put out by the fashion industry. A lot of people don't understand this, but fashion design and interior design are 100% married to each other. And so when the runway shows start coming out in Paris and London and Milan, and you're seeing those styles and those patterns and those colors on the runway, that is immediately transcribed into the fabrics and the prints, the colors and the textures that are going to show up in the home.
Okay.
So that makes so much sense. I'm thinking about even here, the colors we see everywhere. You go shopping and these are the colors you see in market.
Yes. So it's really important if you want a trendy home and you want something that's going to be up to date. So you really want a designer who is going to keep up with the market, not a designer who's following the magazines. And that's a big difference.
Wow. So that means...
Yeah, I was going to say, so that means we shouldn't follow the magazines?
Yeah.
Well, you can follow the magazines as the end user. But there's a process that happens in magazines, and now with technology, it's changed a little bit. But you need to understand, right now we're seeing gray, right? White and gray and white and gray.
Everywhere. Yes.
Do you know when I was at Market, that was in 2009? We're 9 years into the trend of white and grays. So people that I see right now having designers tell them, yeah, we should go do this, they are so far behind on what's happening. And people who are converting their hardware still to satin, nickel, and stainless steel, I hate to break it to you, but it's brass. It's called new gold, and it's brass. That's what's in. So you have to stay on top of what the industry is bringing. And hiring your designer is, you need a designer who's staying up with the market, not who's just following and copycatting what they see on Pinterest or in magazines, because they're not doing you a real service.
You just educated me, definitely. But isn't it true that in this day and time with technology, that really magazines are becoming obsolete?
It's true. So magazines are really obsolete. And there was a much larger lag in time before you could actually see the trends hit the market. Because once it hits, hit mainstream, I should say, once it hits the market and designers get that exposure, that product doesn't become available to us for sometimes 9 months to a year still. It's being received and reviewed. Once the designers say, yes, we like it, they put it into production. From there, designers use the material and plug it into the homes. And that procedure can take anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3 years, depending how large of a project it is. And then those homes are photographed. So you've just covered anywhere from 1 to 4 years before it's hitting any sort of publication. Now, the trend where technology changes is that the magazines used to put their publications out at least a year in advance. They would be picking their issues. Now you have Instagram and everything else, so those pictures are getting put up instantly. But those pictures are still 1 to 4 years old of what first came out. Even on Instagram, you're getting it faster than you were in the magazine, but you have to remember someone still made that actual come to life. It took time to do that. So by the time you're receiving it, we're already moving on to what's next.
I hope you're catching that, and I hope that if you're in the process of actually having a project being done, you're remodeling, you're redecorating, or anything of that nature, I definitely hope that you're taking that information, is that she just educated us on what to do and what not to do, because doesn't that matter who you choose as your designer?
Absolutely. You want to make sure you have somebody. Listen, anybody can open up Interior Design magazine and say, this is beautiful, let's go do this in my home. That's not a designer. A designer is somebody who can tune into what your taste is, and then calculated decisions are made between your taste and what's happening in the market to make it fit and be curtailed to you. And so in doing that, you're really offering your client the best service possible.
So a good example of that is Sonja wanted a circular couch, and that was important. But the design itself and the colors, this was your expertise, correct?
And so I wanted to make sure I tuned into something that was timeless. So this design is actually a Fendi design. It's not by Fendi. We didn't have time for 12 months production. But
that's okay.
But it is a Fendi classic, timeless Italian piece. And then choosing the colors, this is one of the colors. And I want you guys all to just tune in right now and see what we have on trend for these colors that I brought to show you. So these I'm going to show you some pictures of what's on the fashion runway and how that's being transcribed into the homes. So while we look right now, I just want to have them see the first image we're looking at. You're going to see the fashion runways where we're seeing the large botanical prints, And we're seeing the soft pastels. And then in contrast, we also see some really bright jewel tones. Beautiful. So these are things that are now being transferred over into the residential realm and the commercial and hospitality. Right. It all comes full circle. And so you will see in these images, we can see right there the botanicals showing up on your upholsteries, and you can see the soft pastels showing in your accents and colors. And then on this last one, we can actually see the bold and bright colors of those jewel tones being paired up together. And these are beautiful images of exactly how designers effectively are using what's on trend and putting it into their clients' homes.
I love how you said effectively, because my thought would be to open up Pinterest and try to incorporate some of that, but that's not the right way to do it.
It can be. It all depends on what your budget is, right? Not everybody can afford an interior designer, and for that reason, Pinterest and Instagram are great resources for people who can't afford a designer. Right. But in reality, that's copycat design. When you hire a designer, you're actually saying, here's my home, make it reflect me. And that's the last tip I want to give to our audience, is being able to tune in if your designer reflects you.
So good. You know what? We'll be right back so that you can catch her tip. See you in a moment.
If you would like to submit questions or topics for the show, send us an email. Visit couchtimewithsonya.com.
Hello, and welcome to Golden Opportunities. I'm your girl, Sabrina Golden, and today I have Terry Mitchell. So, Terry, what is it that you do?
Myself, I own 2 juice bars called Clean Juice, which we're the first USDA organic juice bar in the state of Texas. We have 2 locations, 12505 Memorial Drive, 1413 South Vaux. And right now today, we have 6 of our juices that are in our cleanse. Everything is USDA certified. So with the first juice of the day, we'll start with the sweet green, which is organic cucumber, apple, kale, spinach, and mint.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay.
And with our second juice, we have the orange, which is carrots, pineapple, organic orange, organic turmeric. This is good for colds. This is good for also joint and pain relief, and good for the digestive system. Now, our third juice, which is the one that people really don't like that much, is the green, which of course is cucumber, celery, spinach, kale, ginger, and lemon. And this is most intensifying one: hydration, illness protection, antioxidant boost. And fourth, we have the lemon, which is yellow. It's filtered water, organic lemon, maple syrup, and cayenne.
Oh, cayenne.
Our fifth juice.
Spicy?
It has a little kick to it. Okay. It has a kick, for sure.
Spicy anyway.
And the fifth one is the red, which is something that's just like get the blood flowing again, which is apple, organic carrot, beet, and lemon. Okay. And boosts your stamina, improve blood flow, protects eyes and skin, and huge vitamin boost. And the last is which is like a protein source, is the white. And with the white, it's a good source of protein, healthy muscles, promotes healthy heart, and calms your nerves.
Oh, yeah. So if you're stressed, that's a good one to drink.
Absolutely. So with the cleanse, you get 16 ounces versus these are just the 8 ounces. And also we have shirts for sale.
Yes, and I love this shirt. Oh, hell no. Love it. I am definitely getting me one.
Also, you can find us on Clean Juice IG, San Felipe, and Clean Juice IG Memorial Green.
Well, thank you, Terry, for being on the show. And you guys stay tuned because we have more on the couch.
We are back, and we continue with Jessica Brown, and she's going to give us just one more tip on interior design.
Yes, so I just want to leave you all with a tip on how to effectively choose your designer. And this is really important because sometimes people make the mistake of picking a designer because they like what that designer has in their home or what the designer did for someone else. But your space should never look like someone else. You really should never go into somebody's design portfolio and see the same type of design over and over from home to home, because that means that designer truly isn't tuning into you as the client.
That's good.
The best compliment I receive from my clients is, I still have a client, she was my first client when I went out on my own, and bless her heart, but she still calls me. She travels the world, and when she gets into her home, returns from her travels, my phone rings, she said, "You will never guess where I am right now. I'm in my home and I love it." And her friends will come over like, "Wow, this home is so you." People walk into spaces that I designed for them and they say, "It's weird because you made the space feel like them." And that's a good designer. So,
well, I can definitely say, just from the storyboarding that you did for me, I truly knew that you were the right designer for me, because you truly portrayed exactly what I wanted, even to the color scheme. You made sure that you were making sure it was what I wanted and not what you wanted for me.
But remember, in the beginning, you were like, the color? And what did I tell you? You thought, oh my goodness.
Right.
Do you remember?
I didn't understand.
Yes.
I didn't understand. I was like, that's really not...
Very muted. You said it was so muted.
But you explained. You educated me, which was the key.
Yes.
That was the key.
That's what I remember her telling me. Delia, I'm going to send you this storyboard, but just know she knows what she's doing with the colors.
Because truly, it was muted for me, but the beauty is most people don't explain why they chose particular colors. You educated me on why, and you educated me on the trend.
Yes.
So that was so beautiful to me that I was able to portray that to Dee before she even looked at it.
Perfect. And just like that, y'all got a design education from one vision board.
Yes.
You're exactly right.
I love that. And for the viewers, if you know anyone or yourself that's about to do some renovating, some updating, share this video with them so that they're not missing or spending unnecessary money or spending it in the wrong place.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely.
That is great information. We thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
It was so awesome. You've got a wealth of knowledge, girl. So I hope that you look up J.B.I.A. and I hope that you go to her website, jbiaonline.com. And please, if you know of anyone who needs an interior designer, make sure they look her up. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you've learned a lot as well. Make sure that you go and check out all of our social media outlets. We are on everything except for Twitter. Go to couchtimewithsonja.com and remember that is Sonja with a J. We hope and pray that you have a wonderful and blessed week. See you next time.